racy. Woohoo! Well, that left some pavement, but that left some marks on the pavement. Oh shit. I'm about to get home before I get a ticket. That Magnum is rocking. Yeah, for the Magnum. Magnum for the win. So I'm kind of impatient. So right now, the black car, I'm still waiting on a torque converter from Circle D. I got an update today. They said it's gonna be at least another week before they ship it out. So that'll make it exactly 4 weeks when I place the order, which sucks. So that means it won't be till the following week till I actually get it. So you're talking 2 weeks before I can actually work on that car again. So I put the transmission in it, doing some mock-up. So I went ahead and got it on the ground and pushed it out of the way. Pulled the Mach 1 in. I've been kind of advertising the Magnum for sale this week. Got a couple of tire kickers, but nobody serious. Just for those who asked, it was $4,500 without the clutch, everything that you need to put in your car, and $5,200 with the clutch. And that's a $1,000 clutch. So that was clutch, flywheel, everything. RXT 26 spline. But regardless, that was the transmission I originally bought to put in the Mach 1. And I had it in the Mach 1 for a little bit. And then when I got ready to put the black car on the road, I said, let me put the best transmission I can in it. So I did. And I found a stock Cobra T56 here, which is what was in the car. I just took it out of the Mach 1. As you can see, it's a 10 spline input shaft. This is the 26 spline. That was the biggest reason I put this one behind the black car. But clearly that's a Magnum. This is a stock Cobra transmission. Now, for all of you wondering, because I didn't sell it right away, I'm very impatient. I don't have time to wait for everybody to kick tires and get their money together. If you ain't got the money, don't waste my time. So from that aspect, I'm now putting the Magnum transmission in the Mach 1. Reason I had to go and work on it anyway, it's got a leaky valve cover gasket on the driver's side. It's been driving me nuts. It leaks on the header. You can smell oil burning. It's very, very annoying. I hate an oil leak. And let me get my light so you can see it. So if you look right in there, you can see how wet it is on the back of the head and the valve cover gasket, or the valve cover, and it leaks down the head. It leaks, guess where? Right on top of this long tube header, and it smells like shit. So I'm about to pull the stock bell housing there off. As you can see, that is a McLeod RXT clutch. It is a 10 spline, but that clutch, that flywheel, everything, this stock bell housing, and that stock T56 will be for sale soon with an MGW shifter. So for all you guys that are curious, it's $3 grand. $3 grand, get you a T56 conversion, RXT clutch. It gets you the aluminum drive shaft, and there you go. Any questions, let me know. But for now, the Mach 1's going back to a Magnum T56 with the 26 spline. That way I can take it to the track now and race it and not worry about breaking the input shaft on it. That's the whole reason I haven't raced this car with the new motor in it, just because I didn't want to break it. Why tear up your parts if you don't have to? Just wanted to show you, I didn't bore you for all taking it apart details, but I'm here to put the bell housing in this car where it's supposed to be, and then the Magnum. I just want to show you some in progress pics of the stock T56 by Mach and the Mach Magnum. So it's Saturday. I got a little bit of a break from working and other chores I had to do today. I have now put the blow-proof bell housing shield on here because I never actually put this shield on I had to trim for the headers. You can see the Cook's long tubes come all the way down. They're all in the way. So I cut a notch out here so it would clear. Before I just had the standard starter plate on it and it cleared, but I've got the light and steel flywheel on, I've got the clutch on, and a trick here, normally you can use a little plastic insert to set up your clutch disc, but I found them to be a real trick, a real pain to push in, get it just right. So if you actually have access to a 26 spline input shaft, this makes it cake. You can push that bad boy in, get your disc lined up, slide it in, tighten everything down, and you are golden. See there? Boom. That thing is awesome. So you just basically push that in, line it up, go ahead and do that. Boom, just like that. So now when I go to put my transmission in, there should be zero resistance, zero issue sliding that bad boy in. I've got everything torqued down on my pressure plate and my floater plate there. So we are good to go. So now it's as simple as getting my transmission up here on my jack, sliding everything into place, and we're ready to go. I did put a brand new pilot bearing in there while I was here, just because, why not? You know, we're good to go now. So brand new pilot bearing, wiped everything off, torqued everything back down, got my little plate in place. Bell housing on, clutch is in, clutch cable is hooked up, just needs a slight tweak. You can see that it's not quite touching. I like to have it touching with a little bit of tension on it, so I need to touch that up just a hair. Transmission's tight, starter's on and tight. Everything is on here with the mount, the transmission mount. It's all tight here with my reverse lockout plugged in, reverse lights plugged in, and the transmission speedo plugged in here. Got the drive shaft hooked back up, and then tomorrow I will hook up the X pipe and I'll plug in the oxygen sensors, which is what these hook into here, and I'll zip tie all my wires up so they're not dangling and touching the exhaust so they don't burn by the long tubes. And that part will be completed. And then part of this project was I need to change the driver's side valve cover. I gotta basically undo the motor mount on this side, jack up the motor a little bit so I can get by the brake booster, and then I can take the valve cover off, swap out that rubber gasket real quick, and then that'll be done. But this is it. The T56 Magnum is back in the Mach 1 where it originally was. And again, I pulled out temporarily to put it in the hate train just to drive it around, break in the engine. And now the Turbo 400's in that car waiting on the converter. But for now, it is back in the Mach 1. Something I want to show you this morning. I was looking up in this header tube and see if I can get the right angle. Can you see the upper left header tube there? See how it's wet? Looks weird, right? Kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can get the light just right for you there. Basically, that is oil coming down the header tube. You're like, how did oil get in there? Well, it's so weird. Check this out. That tube is actually right here. It's like a slip fit when Cook's puts them together. They slide it in there and they bolt it together. Well, if you look right above it there, see where it's wet? Right here between the steering column and down. Well, you see that orange ring on the steering column? It's kind of wet. And then right here, looks like it's kind of white. That's actually where oil hits it. And if you look up, see where it's dripping off the valve, off the head there? Because the valve cover's leaking. It literally drips down on this header tube. That's why I smell the oil burning. But funnier thing, it runs down and gets into that little opening there where it slips down and literally goes into the exhaust there. How crazy is that? Ridiculous. Lockout works great, goes in reverse easy. Clutch feels just about perfect. Yep, feels exactly where it needs to be. No rattles, no dragging. Drive the car in anger, she is spicy. Yeah, I tell you, this little VMP 2.3, it might be outdated a little bit, but let me tell you, 800 at the tires ain't nothing to sneeze at when you're on a real street tire. This is the Nitto 555 street tire. It ain't got nothing for this power. It is fun to drive with a stick, let me tell you. I kind of was rolling it like, I don't know, 10 miles an hour, roll into it, it just hit the tires hard, go to second, stab it, pedal it, stab it, pedal it, get it going, then jam third and try to modulate it, you know where to go. But this thing will roll. I'm telling you, this is probably one of the funnest street cars, fastest cars I have ever built and had in all my years of having fast cars. And it's not even the most powerful, but it is fun to drive. It does everything right. It ticks all the boxes. It is rowdy. Woohoo! Well, that left some pavement, that left some marks on the pavement. Oh shit. I better get home before I get a ticket. That Magnum is rocking. Yeah, for the Magnum. Magnum for the win.